possibility also other groups of people who could potentially exploit the whole war for their own personal gain. Cough cough, TikTok, cough cough.
Yep. All right. So now that we have started, go ahead. If you want to read for Ben, Tolly.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, it's hopefully it's pinned. I would have hopefully done that, but I might have forgotten to pin it. No, it's pinned. I see it.
No, I see it in the chat. Let me know when I'm ready, or when you're ready for me.
Yep. Go ahead. Can you hear me?
Hi, my name is Ben. I can't tell you my last name, or where I live, or what high school I attend. If I do, they might find me. They might find us. Who are they? Who are we? We are an alien invasion force on here on Earth as a part of a galactic spanning war between good and evil. And we are the Animorphs. Not the ones from 20 years ago. Apparently, there was another alien invasion 20 years ago with a whole separate group of teenagers with morphing powers. They're gone, and now it's just us. The Kelbrid, that's the name of the aliens we're fighting. They're not brain parasites like the Yerks, but they still give me the creeps. The Kelbrid species is a warrior culture. Their entire race is made up of cybernetically enhanced warriors who are literally born with living metal covering their body. So, how are a bunch of kids who can turn into gorillas and squirrels going to take on that? Well, this Sunday morning, that's what we're going to find out. Officer Eli has called us for a training day.
All right. So, as most of you know, every book starts, or every part of a book starts with a focus trait, which is just something that you guys need to keep in mind throughout the entirety of either this part or this entire book. Um, this focus trait is keep the secret, because there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you guys to, forget that and for accidentally let someone in on that. So keep the secret. Keep that in mind. Um, Everyone starts with zero momentum. However, obviously you can accumulate momentum. You can also, like I said before, use serendipity and plot points instead of momentum. And yeah, with that, we're going to go ahead and start. Let's see, just checking, make sure all the bookkeeping's done. Also, let me make sure the. There we go.
And are we gonna just try to finish the character sheet along the way, kind of deal?
Yeah, mainly just
Okay.
make sure your character sheet has a name and a picture. That way we can, if I need to put your token somewhere, I can on the map. For right now, you don't have a
Okay.
user interface, but if I need to, move you to a map, I can. Also,
Okay.
let me make sure Ben has his user face. Doesn't have the map, so I'll go ahead and grab that. So, if you guys remember, um, Officer Eli suggested that you guys basically go stay in a motel after your field trip, because more than likely the authorities and the your parents and the school would not expect you to be back from your field trip until Monday, or at the very least, um, they wouldn't expect you to be found by Monday if something happened. If you went any longer than that, then you would be kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage, being that when they do eventually find you, they're going to ask you a whole of a hell lot more questions than just what happened and where have you been. So, put this here. All right. However, let's see, going through the list. So, as far as like acquiring pets, Um, because you were not uh, like at your house, presumably, unless you decide you wanted to go back, then you cannot do that yet. I actually didn't think of that until just now, so my apology. But you will eventually be able to. Don't worry. Um, I need somebody, anybody, to roll a just 1d20, to see how the investigation went on Saturday. Um, actually, no. Let's say, let's see, a three. Okay, we'll save that for the future. We'll save the investigation for Monday when you guys get back. That way we can handle all this training, as Ben mentioned, now, and then yeah. So basically, the three is good because lower is better. So basically, Monday when the cops ask you what happened on your field trip, you guys lie through your teeth and everything's fine. But for now, let's see. So Officer Eli, the resource officer of your high school that went on the field trip with you guys. He called you guys on your Nokias or your cell phones, your burner phones, whatever you want to call them, and basically was like, "Hey, meet me." And like he's got an RV, and he's basically like, "Meet me in these various locations throughout town. I don't want anyone to kind of notice or see us really, and I'm gonna pick you up individually, and then I will take you somewhere and we'll train on this morphing thing." Also, make sure you bring your Zipocyte bands, which are bands that the Kelbrids, um, that you know that the Kelbrids created. You're not really sure why they created it or how they created it, because why would they create something that assists in the morphing ability? But that may come later. Um, Basically, you guys are, yeah. Let me just look through my notes. Okay. Alex, you're with Kenneth, I presume. Um,
Yep.
your character's brother, and he is kind of excited. He's like, "Yeah, man, I really, really look forward to practicing all of this morphing stuff." Um, how does Alex feel? Is he excited or is he kind of anxious? How does Alex feel?
He's just tired.
Why is he tired?
He's tired from the whole day before because of uh just being uh with everything that has happened, and he hadn't had a good night's sleep.
Hmm. Yeah, I imagine that's the case. Okay. And what about Ben? Ben was presumably staying in a hotel as well. Maybe the same hotel as Alex and Kenneth, maybe probably a different room. But how is he feeling this morning as he's getting on the RV heading for the forest?
Extremely excited to turn into a great ape.
Okay. Um, and what about Marco? Marco probably is the least. I wouldn't say least excited, but I would definitely see them say, besides Jimmy, the most affected of the group after what's happened. So how is 2 days later? How is Marco feeling?
Numb.
Hmm, makes sense. All right. You guys get to the woods, and I'm gonna say that Jimmy is there, but he's kind of in the background. Player's not here. I don't like NPCing player characters, so I'm just gonna say he's kind of like, you know what, I'm not feeling well. I don't want to morph today. I don't want to practice. I'll do it some other time. I promise I won't do it in my bedroom. You're not really sure if he's telling the truth, but Officer Eli isn't going to question. Um, and I'm just moving tokens onto everyone's UIs. And let me find Ken's. There he is. All right. So you guys get out of the RV. Officer Eli walks over into the middle of like a field, I guess, kind of area, a clearing in the middle of the woods. And this is like, you know, um, I wouldn't say it's national forest kind of a forest, but it's like a pretty big like game forest. Like there's probably nobody around for miles. Um, that being said, he does tell you that he did turn into a bat and fly around to make sure earlier that morning to make sure that there was no campers or hunters, and it's not even hunting season, so there shouldn't be. But he did fly around to make sure that there was nobody there. And he says, all right, so first of all, everybody, there are, let me change, I don't know, I don't even think y'all can hear the music, but I'm gonna, well, actually, okay. He says, first of all, everybody needs to know that there are rules to morphing. You can't just, become a gorilla or become a wolf or become a squirrel and run around and do crazy things. If you forget and you know go out and do that and something happens, it can be permanent. The number one rule is the time limit. The Aximil device, which was created a few years after the war, and then he stops himself and he says, right, you guys don't know about the war. Um, about 15 years ago, uh, the original morphing device, which was a blue cube called the Escafil device, was, we'll just say, uh, reinvented to be an 8-sided device called the Aximil device, named after a great Andalite warrior. They managed to increase the time limit from 2 hours to 2.5 hours. However, some have been able to demorph after 3 hours. Suffice it to say, it's not a complete science. Sometimes there's a bit of art to it. So, just to keep it safe, I recommend that you don't try to demorph after 2 hours. Make sure you get back to human form by 2 hours, or you will probably stay in that morph forever. Um, Obviously, as you guys know already, if you touch an animal or a creature, you acquire its DNA. Usually, but not always, when you do that, the animal will go into a kind of catatonic trance. Some animals, like more aggressive animals, it doesn't work on, but in most animals it does. And that's how you're able to get the DNA when these normally aggressive animals wouldn't allow you to do so. Um, you are not able to morph between animals. You have to morph back to human and then to another animal. Or whatever species you are. And you guys know by now that, or, well, I don't, yeah, he did tell you guys he's half Andalite, stuck in a human Nothlit body, so. Um, you must deal with the creature's instincts. There's very few creatures that you can morph and not have to deal with their instincts. Even as a cat, you're going to want to deal with the instinct to always just run around and play or just lay there and be lazy. So every animal has its own instincts that you're going to have to deal with. Oh, and that reminds me. Never, ever, ever morph into an ant. Just don't do it. There's plenty of other better bugs to morph into. If you morph into an ant, you're just going to become an automaton working for the queen for the rest of your life, basically. Be right back.
Same rule applies to bees.
They have a little bit more free will, but generally speaking, termites, bees, anything like that there's, like I said, there's better animals to turn into. You guys might be thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm going to turn into a horse and just run across the plains. That kind of morphing, you're not going to be able to do a whole lot of that. It's mostly going to be like, oh, I need to survive. What can I think of in the last minute that's small enough to get out of this situation? Or what kind of combat morph do I have that can get out of this situation? So keep that in mind. I'm not going to tell you guys to not morph on your own time. I'm not going to tell you to not turn into an animal just to have fun, because you're probably going to do it anyway. I'm just going to say be careful. Keep in mind the instincts. Keep in mind the 2-hour time limit. Keep in mind the fact that If you do that, you could be caught. Some species actually have technology that can detect morphing. Um, I don't think the Kelbrid have that yet, but I would just be careful if I were you. Um, Morphing. Also, you can use thought speak. So, as an animal, you can just like Andalites. So the Andalites created morphing, but as an animal, you can use thought speak to kind of project your thoughts to someone to talk to them. You can do that with an individual, you can do that with a small group of people, or you can just broadcast your telepathy for everybody to hear, and to hell with the consequences. Consider it kind of like whispering or yelling, basically. Um, Morphing can also be very tiring if you do it a lot of time. If you just do it once and then you stay on that morph for a couple of hours, you can probably morph back and not be too tired. But if you go from one morph to another, or if you go from one morph to human, then to another morph, then back to human, and you just keep doing that, you're gonna get tired eventually. Um, Also, morphing is not logical. I mean, you might morph the same animal 20 times, it will never look the same. You could morph a tiger, the stripes may come first, or maybe the next time the claws might come first. Maybe the ears come first the next time. You're never going to know. So keep that in mind. If you die in a morph, you die in real life. So just keep that in mind. You're not invincible in a morph. You do have the zipocyte bands, as you saw with me. If they start blinking red, it means that the person is dying. Just tap on that red light, and it will force them to morph and cause them to kind of regain um, their strength and life back. But then they'll have to demorph on their own. So yeah, that being said, last point, morphing and demorphing heals everything. There's only been a couple of instances where this hasn't worked. So don't think you're invincible when you're in a morph, because it doesn't always work. He looks around. Does anybody have any questions? This is the time to ask them.
Yes, sir. Are we safe out here? I just want to make sure.
He looks around, kind of, just glances around. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I turned into a bat earlier, flew around, didn't see anybody. Um, this is this Because we live in a small town. This is kind of the safest it's gonna get. The only other way we could get quote unquote more safer is if we went to the national forest. But I'm kind of over the national forest after what happened there on the field trip, so I kind of don't want to go back there. So for now, for a couple of hours, this should be fine. As long as, I mean, the likelihood of this game forest is like several miles wide in multiple directions. The likelihood of somebody just deciding to come over here and camp or go, illegal hunting is very unlikely. Um, but if you're And also, considering the morphs that we're gonna have to practice today, you're gonna want to have open space, and this is the most open space you're gonna have in several kilometers. Any other questions? Does Alex ask if he can morph a squirrel?
He just wants to go and do it
All right, all right, all right. You can morph a squirrel.
while he's sleeping.
Everybody, you can morph a squirrel. Go ahead and morph your squirrels. Remember the instincts. All right. So, just as a and just so you guys know, you morph your squirrels because you've already morphed them before, and that way it'll give you an idea of how it works, and then you can morph your batter things afterwards. So everyone knows your individual archetype plus science, and I'm saying squirrel is science because squirrels are unintimidating, but also they're just, you know, not definitely not medicine or engineering related. So science is probably the best thing for them. Um, so it's gonna since you guys have already done this once before, instead of a difficulty 2, it's only a difficulty 1, and this is just to focus on morphing the squirrel. So Alex, you have successfully focused. Nostra has successfully focused and also given you guys 1 momentum in the pool. And wow, what happened to your character sheet, Tolly?
I honestly don't know.
It should be. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, it's there. Just go into characters
Yeah,
folder.
it's there. I got it up.
But why is it not
I'm
morph?
at the dice.
So you clicked on
I
it
don't
and
know.
it's just not doing it.
Yeah, it's just not doing anything.
All right. Well, it's. I'm just gonna take the first roll, which is a 3 and a 17, and that's one success. So you get a success. Because it's rolling it. It's just not rolling it in the traditional Star Trek-y character sheet way, which is really weird. All right. Um,
So
so
you did get my roll then.
yeah, I got like several rolls.
Yeah,
So
I was trying. I was like, what the hell? It's not booping. Usually it boops, like I hear
yeah,
a little boop or something.
yeah. So you guys have successfully focused. Roll again. If you get a complication, this will just add the difficulty for the next roll as you guys are starting to actually change. All right, so Alex, you, let's see, you have gotten fur on your face, Alex. However, that's as far as you're able to go with no successes. Um, let's see, 17, 14,
Understandably.
0 plus 11. Yeah, that's not. Same with Tali. Your eyes become beady, big and black in your head, and that's about as far as you're able to go. Um, Nostra, you're up. Ooh, complication. So you managed to start morphing and you're continuously morphing, but you got a complication. So basically the next roll for completing the morph is going to be at a higher difficulty. But you are morphing, so you're like halfway there. Um, and you got your 2 successes. So you have Marco, you've completed the morph. I need everybody else to roll another science roll, um, difficulty 1, and this is to continue morphing because you basically are stuck now. All right, wow. So you got 3 successes, Tali. So you add to the pool of 2 momentum. So you guys are at 3 momentum now. And yeah, you're basically finished. Hold on. No, you are continuing the morph. Not finished, but you are continuing. Nice. So is Alex. And you also added another momentum. Alright. So those of you, I'm gonna say, those of you who didn't, I think it was Mac and Tolly. If you want to spend a momentum each, I'll say you complete the roll. And then all you got to do is deal, or not the roll, the morph, and all you got to do is deal with the instincts after that. If you guys want to do that, or you can roll for it. It's up to you.
I'm gonna roll for it.
All right.
I'm gonna
Possibility.
roll for it.
All right. All right. You got a 9, so you got your success. So you have complete. You are now a squirrel. Your bushy tail pops out um, of Ben's rear end, and Alex, your legs, your feet kind of turn into long squirrel feet, and you kind of fall forward on your on your arms, and then the fur sprouts all over you, and you guys are now you need to deal with the instincts. So it's going to be another roll, difficulty 1, because it's only difficulty 1 because you've already dealt with the instincts before. All right, well, Alex, it looks like you are good. You are now a squirrel, and you can do whatever the hell you want as a squirrel. um, Marco, you were not able to deal with the instincts immediately. So you go around running around grabbing acorns, and after a couple of minutes, you're like, oh shit, and then you kind of grapple with the instincts and get back into control. Um, you didn't have to roll again, Alex. You had already rolled, didn't you? Or did you not? You there, Matt?
For the instincts, yeah. Not yet.
Oh, okay. So that must have been your other roll then. Um, yeah, that's one of the problems with having multiple people roll multiple times is it's hard to keep up with what. So y'all might have to help me with that. All right, so yeah, you then in that case you also add a momentum, and I think Marco adds 2 momentum. So let's see, where are you guys at? 4, 5, 6, 7. You're at 7 momentum. So I just need Tolly to roll to deal with the instincts of the squirrel. Ooh, 2 successes. So you're at full momentum, and you guys are now. I'm gonna. Yeah, you guys are all squirrels now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the squirrel token over to your each of your UI, and you can move it around, put it wherever you want, and just start with Mac. What are you doing as a squirrel? Are you kind of running around having fun, or are you just sitting there? Are you eating acorn? What are you doing?
I'm running around having fun and just trying to run up trees and everything.
Yep, you easily climb up the trees. Um, Now, if you guys turn down that music a bit, if you guys go to the folder, it's in the characters folder. It's called Other Morphs. You'll see the three morphs that are not battle morphs that you guys have acquired. I believe you all have the ability to roll on the squirrel character sheet. If you open it up, you'll see the attributes and the disciplines are filled in. I just need if you're running up a tree, I need you to roll either control or fitness, either one, and con. And the difficulty is one. Actually, yeah, the difficulty is one. And because the squirrel has a focus in climbing, then you can click yes on that. Anybody
Fitness and
else?
control.
Yep, fitness and con or control and con, either one. Ooh, so you have a bonus momentum, Alex. What do you want to spend? It's a bonus momentum, so you have to spend it. What do you want to spend it on? You're climbing up a tree as quickly as you can, like some kind of crazed acrobat. Sorry, did you hear me? I had to move my mic.
So yeah, he he tries to see if he can try different ways of climbing up uh the squirrel.
You try different ways of climbing up the
What?
squirrel.
No, climbing up the tree with as a squirrel.
Okay. Um, Funnily enough, and I've actually seen real squirrels do this, so you do the sideways around the tree thing. So you're not running like forward. You're actually like running like you're facing up and down, like you're facing upwards, but you're running around the tree sideways, and you're able to like go up the tree that
Mhm.
way, just spiraling up the tree. And yeah, you're Kenneth, your brother, your character's brother, just looks up and shakes his head, and he's like, he's such a freak. um, all right, so after you guys are having
And
fun,
I
sorry, go ahead.
and I go, I'm your brother.
Uh,
At least you get to put up with the freak
yeah, we're both
because I'm your
freaks.
brother.
All right. Yep. All right. So, let me check something real quick. What is Fire Monk? What is your character's name?
I am. I'm literally on that right now.
Okay.
Uh, God. Sorry, their names are.
Just literally put some letters
I.
together.
Yeah. Uh. Yeah. I have no idea, man. I'm sorry. I'm thinking. I'm on a thing here. Give me a second.
Well, that's
All
fine.
right. So I've got. Just gonna pick from each of these parts. We've got Arbon Arbron, Arbron,
Okay.
and then we'll take the middle from here. I'm not kidding. This is the best way I can think of to do this.
I,
Uh,
I have like a
Scimitar.
yeah. I have like a
Oh, go
dozen
ahead.
name generators. That's why I'm like just random alien weird name generators.
Well, if you look at the specific species, they have basically three parts, and
Yeah.
that's every one of them that I've noticed.
Yeah.
So that's just what I'm doing. I'm picking the first from one, a second from another.
Can
All
you
right, and the second one will be Scimitar,
mhm.
Semitur,
Would you be able to change the
and
first one slightly since there is actually an Andalite with that name? Just like change one letter.
yeah, uh, I have no idea, man.
How about
Sorry, I was working on all the other stuff,
it's all good.
but still.
It's all good. How about Arvron with a V instead of a B? Then they could call you Arv. Someone I know someone will call you Arvin.
Oh, I don't know. Sure, throw that on there as long as if you're okay with possibly me fixing that later. But yeah.
I hate retcon, so maybe not.
Oh, then I'm gonna need a minute, okay?
That's fine.
Especially if you're gonna be saying
Yeah.
it over and over again and such.
Yeah. All right. So I'll go ahead and narrate what you're doing, and you can come up with a name whenever. So you're, if I remember correctly, you are in a small ship, um, heading to Earth. What is the reason your character is heading to Earth?
Based on what you sent me earlier,
Sure.
I'd yeah.
As long
So
as
I
it
want to
doesn't
kind of.
contradict that, I don't care. Like he could be working for the Kelbert for all I care.
Oh no. Everything you said, no, that's fine. I just wanted to clarify something. Well, like I said, obviously knowing what species I am, I don't know how much of that you don't want me to bring up, or is it okay to talk about right
Yeah.
now, or
Yeah. It's
what?
fine. They know about
Oh, okay.
Andalites.
Okay, yeah, that's like I said, getting used to over the computer as opposed to actually talking to people in real
Yeah.
life, uh, or face to face, I should say.
Yeah.
Um, basically, though, small ship, basically a scouting ship. Effectively, it was based on the fall of the Andalites and becoming refugees in most, at least the few that are groups that I know of that are around. Basically, um, he decided to basically effectively flee to Earth, um, and try to keep hidden as much as they can. And the last thing that was on this the scouting ship was to look for help or information, and that's what happened.
So he's basically going to Earth to see if anyone from Earth can. Because I mean, he would know that you know aliens aren't really a thing on Earth anymore. But he would also know that
Yeah,
like there are still aliens on Earth, but they're just like in hiding. So that would be like the perfect place to go and recruit someone to help.
correct.
Uh,
So basically, that's going to be the whole thing. Is he needs to stay hidden enough not to get either killed or thrown off planet? Because I don't know how familiar it is or how they got everyone off planet, or they think they did anyway. But I doubt it was super peaceful.
Nope. But in fact, your character would know that it started out that way. It started out as, hey, yeah, we just kind of want to live our own lives here on our planet, so leave. And most of the aliens did leave, but some didn't want to leave, and they were pretty much exterminated, or at least as far as the governments are concerned, they're exterminated. So, and your character would know that. But I need you to roll to fly your ship. So click on Control on your character sheet, and then click on Con, and that is going to be, and then that is going to be like your roll for your ship. And I've already rolled. So like starships assist the person that's flying them. So I've already rolled for your ship. You already have one success. The difficulty is 1. So all you need is to not fail.
Okay, so click on con effectively in here.
Yep, and then to your right, after you do that, you'll see where it says Dice Roller. So
Oh yeah,
this is where you want to think of your focuses, because focuses actually make it easier for you to crit. So, if you want to put small craft or ship or like helm operations or piloting or anything like that as a focus, then this is probably where you when you want to do it. If you don't want any of those focuses, that's fine, but then you won't be able to click yes on the focus used part.
Correct. I did not picture this character as being hyper focused on piloting. He was always more interested in, tail fighting and things like that.
Right.
Obviously, he knows how to fly a ship,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
it's not specialty and or focus in this poor guy.
hmm
Because
So I am
also
actually
he kind of left abruptly as well. By the
right.
way,
Makes sense. And he is a cadet, right?
correct.
Okay. So I am actually spending threat, which is a resource that I, as the GM, can use in the system to make life hell. So you see where it says complication range? Below that, below the focus used part,
Hmm.
just click on the 5 for me. That will
Hold on
basically
a minute.
mean that anything above a 16 is a critical failure. Um, Now, I am going to ask the group this because it's their momentum, but do you want him to be able to use the group momentum? Technically, obviously, he's your faction, but also you guys don't even your characters don't even know he exists yet. So it's up to you as a group if you don't mind if he uses momentum to get additional dice.
No, we
Go
should just.
ahead.
No, I'd
Go
rather
ahead.
just play it straight. Honestly, you guys,
Because
and we'll see
because
if I
if you
die.
crash that, yeah, if you die, yeah, you're not gonna make. You could be sending the ship into Earth.
So here's the thing.
Itself.
I'll explain how the rolling and all that works. So I said difficulty 1, which means all you need is 1 success to get to Earth safely without dying. The complication range
Hmm.
means that even if you get that 1 success, you'll get to Earth, you won't die. But the complication is maybe you lose your tail, or maybe the ship explodes and now there's a bunch of press and police around to witness it. Like, there's additional
Yeah.
things that may be bad. So that's what the complication range is for. The more dice you buy, and this is completely up to you, but the more dice you buy, the more likely you're able to get a complication, but also the more likely are to succeed and also generate momentum for you or your group. So it's kind of a calculation thing.
Okay. Well, that's up to everybody on that end. I have no problem with because again, this character would have been a cadet. They would have been doing their and fleeing relatively quickly, as well as not being a great mindset. So, as story wise, it makes sense for this to be hard.
hmm
But I don't know how this group does things yet, so we'll see.
All right.
I'm
So
fine with either way. So
yep,
I have
yep.
to make a roll. That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely. The other thing is if I did give you 1 serendipity, so if you want to look at uses for serendipity, it will give you so everyone starts the game with a determination, but you could also spend the serendipity to get an additional determination. What a determination does is it gives you an automatical critical success, and of course, a critical success is 2 successes. Now, that's a bit much when you only need 1 success to win or to succeed, and you also already have a determination, so that is also a possibility.
Okay.
But if you just want to roll straight, I completely understand. I just want to give you all the information before you roll and critically fail and die. No, you won't die, but you
Well,
could be severely injured.
yeah, no, honestly, I'm fine with rolling. You said serendipity, or was it the other one you were talking about? Sorry,
Actually, you know what? Let me check something real quick before I.
because this would be one of those things where if if the character was quote unquote fated to be in the game, then he has to not blow up first.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it'd be a good reason in my mind to use it.
Okay. Um, how about this then? Instead of using serendipity, well, first of all, before you can use a determination, you need a value. So something that your character really believes in or cares about. Come up with that. It could be anything as it could be just don't die or survive at all costs, anything like that, and then type that into the value section, and then you'll be able to spend the determination, and then if you need a determination later in the game, you can always use the serendipity then, or the plot points, either one. It's up to you.
So this is your character's core values
Yeah,
specifically
exactly.
at
Which
by this point.
I am.
Okay.
I imagine it might have something to do with like the Andalite military or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, they have the overly developed sense of honor thing, and yeah. All right, will do.
Okay. Do you want to roll anyway, even though you already have already 2 successes from the determination?
Yeah, that's fine. I need to be able to learn more about how this game works anyway. So
Okay.
how would I do that?
So where it says task roll below complication range, it's got a little com badge symbol to the right of it, and it's got
Hmm.
the 2 is highlighted. You still want to keep the complication range 5, but
Okay.
the 2 is you're always it's always going to be 2 for the task roll unless you're assisting, then it's 1, or unless you buy dice, then it's 3, 4, or 5. But it's called 2d20 because that's the base number of dice you use. So you just click that badge symbol, and it should roll your dice for you. Ooh, yes. I mean, oh no. So you successfully got into the planet, to the ground, Um, and I think the complication, which makes a whole lot of sense in this situation, is that somebody has seen your ship crash land into the woods. And your character probably knows that. You have all these crazy sci-fi sensors on your ship. You probably have noticed, maybe a plane to the starboard, maybe some, bird watchers with binoculars to the port or something like that. But somebody has noticed your ship, and it is going down, smoke coming out the back of it, into the forest. We are gonna jump.
Subtle.
Yeah. So but you are you're going down, but you are gonna make it. You could tell that you're not gonna die or anything like that. You might be injured a bit, but you're gonna be fine as far as like making it out alive. Um, all of you guys in Squirrel Morph, you hear Eli turn to you and say, "Get back to human morph. We've got an issue here." Um, and then you guys start to see his blue fur begin to sprout all over his body. Um, so I need everybody to roll for the sake of see that's the problem with trying to fast morph this
I
stuff.
climbed down the tree.
Yeah, you climb down.
I climbed down the
You
tree.
don't have to roll to climb down the tree. Everyone roll your attribute and science once to start demorphing. Difficulty 1. Okay, you got a bonus momentum, Marco, so if you want to use that for something, you can. In fact, you know what? If you want to use that to
Speed
say...
run. I'm using it to speed run.
Okay, so you're completely demorphed. Now you just... let's see. Hold on, I'm... Okay. And then I just need Tolly to roll his.
Was that my attributes control and the other one was science?
Control and science, yep. Control should be your highest one. And you got one too. So you're in the process of like starting. Alex and Tali are in the process of starting their morph, while Marco is like almost finished with his morph. So I need Alex and Tali to roll one more time. Same thing. All right, Alex, you have finished your morph, and by this point in time, and Tali, you have finished yours as well. By this point in time, Officer Eli is sprouting a scorpion-like blue tail. Let's see here. Where in the world is... There it is. Eyeballs on stalks are popping out of the top of his head. That's weird. Where? I know I have it here somewhere.
I swear he didn't touch a scorpion. He goes,
My
I
mouth...
say to you guys,
As my mouth disappears, I say, don't you remember I acquired Anjin before he died? That's how you got me to... When I was injured by the Kelbrid operative, you remember you made it so that I morphed into Anjin so that I could heal? and then his mouth has disappeared by now, so he's like using his thoughts to talk to you. But then he like falls forward, and his hooves kind of dig into the dirt as he becomes a full Andalite. Anyway, that is an Andalite ship. That is why I'm morphing into Andalite. I need one of you. No, I need two of you to. Oh wait, y'all don't have bird morphs yet, do you? Ooh.
No.
All right.
No.
He looks over to Marco.
No.
He says, "Can you go wolf for me?"
Fine. All right.
All right. So that is going to be security and whatever your attribute is.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm doing something real
Yeah.
quick. All right.
I can
So
hear.
all right. So you now this is a morph you haven't done before. And this is a battle morph, so it's a predator. So your difficulty is 2, and you've gotten your 2. So you have successfully focused on this morph, and now you're beginning the change. I need you to roll it one more time. The
Sorry, I'm just trying to get my cat off my lap. It's just
Understandable.
yeah.
So as the gray fur begins to kind of sprout all over you, you can feel the inside your internal organs begin to shift and move around. Um, you stop, like the morph stops for all of a sudden, and then you like struggle a bit, and then you continue on, and now you need roll one more time. Well, actually it's gonna be 2 more times, but roll again. All right, you finish the morph as these big long yellowish fangs come out of your snout and your head turns into a wolf, and you fall on all fours, and now you're completely a wolf. However, as you know, you have to deal with the instincts, so roll one more time, difficulty 2. You first of all, the senses are ridiculously great. Like you could smell the burning of this Andalite fighter like more than a mile away, and you can smell the Andalite that is within it. You can smell all of your friends, all the squirrels that or the all of the your fellow new Animorphs that are morphing from squirrel to human. You smell every predator or prey. You smell every predator. There's like a brown or a black bear somewhere in the woods. You smell all the deer, you smell everything, and your eyesight isn't bad either. However, that deer that you're smelling, you really want to go after it.
But I don't. I'm kind of all alone. Where's my pack?
Yep, you have no pack.
Oh.
You hear in your head, Officer Eli's voice in your head. Marco, gang, get control, damn it. We don't have time for this. And you hear his tail snap behind you. It doesn't hit you, but you hear it snap. And then like as you turn to bare your fangs, you finally grab onto the mind of this beast, and now you are the Red Wolf. And he says, "I need you to go to that ship that's about to crash or has crashed. And I need you to just investigate. Can you do that? Just investigate. Do not make contact. Do you understand?"
Ew.
All right,
Ew.
go. And then as you bound away,
Boom.
he turns to the others. He says, "Unfortunately, a gorilla isn't really going to do much good right now." He looks over to Alex. Neither is an alligator. I want you to follow me, but stay back. Don't um, don't get too close to me, because if the Andalite or whatever it is in that ship sees me, and it could be, for all we know, an operative of the Kelbert Empire. So just keep your distance from me. If I need you to become turn into a, go to battle morphs, I'll let you know. And then, like, with a dash, like, it's like a horse. He just bolts on his 4 legs, and just, diving between trees, over bushes, like a nimble horse, just galloping. Now back to the Andalite with no name.
It's on there now.
Okay, what
I've
is
got
it?
it written up.
It's up
It's
there.
Corvin.
Corvan. Nice. I like that.
Orvon, Sorrel, Terran. So
Nice. All right, so Corvon, the nose of this ship hits the dirt. Sprays up around you. The back end of your ship, bam, slams into the ground, and then swings a little bit to the port and hits a tree. And then your ship starts spinning. Sparks flicker in the trees, and now there's kind of like not a big forest fire, but I mean it could get worse. And your ship eventually comes to a grinding halt against a large boulder. You are bruised, but otherwise fine. What do you do?
providing like if I'm still conscious and whatnot, or am I just kind of groggy, or
You're a little bit kind of like stunned because of what just happened, but you're still able to like think clearly. It's just your vision might be a little blurry or something.
okay? Well, pretty much. I don't know how you want to say it, but
Give me a
mind.
second.
Oh, you're good. As mind speak, basically to myself, effectively, because there's no one else around here. Well, double check. I didn't. No one else came with me on this ship. No one else
Nope.
was there.
Nope.
Okay, just want to make sure. Because I would have scanned the ship at least on the way out to make
Right.
sure nothing was, there.
Yeah.
But yeah, groggily just kind of looks around and looks out through the front viewport. What do I see?
You see a forest. You don't see. I mean, you see a few little, um, birds here and there, but otherwise, your screen, your console, completely black. It's not giving you anything. Your ship is out of commission. Otherwise, you can't really make heads or tails of anything.
Okay. So since that species stands up while they're doing everything, I don't know if I'm laying in a pile somewhere or what, but basically I get up from wherever I'm at
Right.
and look for, well, not look for because they would know, but basically for where the exit would be, and I can try not to knock us into the forest because it's not like we were hanging over something on that rock.
No, the ship bumped into the rock. It's like right at
Oh, okay.
yeah. It's like your front right quarter of where your ship is. So like you hit it and like bounced into it, but it's not like you're hanging over a cliff or anything.
Yeah, that's where I was confused. I wanted to make sure it wasn't us hanging over because when I said looking at a forest, I was picturing down at.
Yeah, no,
No.
you're
Okay.
good.
Well, this is considerably easier to get out then.
Yeah.
Because I know I need to get out of here quickly. Is like the self destruct device that's on the ship still act work so I could blow it up and leave, or is this? It's kind of a done deal with this ship, effectively.
If you want to spend serendipity, I will say that the only thing that works is the self-destruct, and then you won't have to worry about anybody finding the ship ever again.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that because,
right.
like I said, that just makes sense.
There is I mean, obviously, most of the Andalite ships are controlled with their mind. However, for reasons like this, there is a red button sticking out of like a console, and yeah, you slam it down, and you don't hear anything because the computer's down. But you almost feel under your with your hooves under the deck as chemicals begin to mix together.
And yeah, I buzz the hell out of there.
All right, you run out of there. Is Marco? Yeah, Marco's here. Marco, you smell the Andalite a lot more clearly now, and you also smell some unknown chemical mixing within the ship. You're probably, I'd say, probably about
I am
100.
1000% holding myself back and not like. If I see visual on the ship, but also smell the weird chemicals, I am staying the fuck away from that. I am not going to approach.
All right, so yeah, you're
It
not.
just look like it's just a random wolf that's just
Yeah.
meandering around.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about animals. He probably just thinks, oh, that wolf is naturally by him. He's a lone wolf. But anyway, so yeah, you see this Andalite come out running, and I want, let's see, both of you roll a d20. So on roll 20, do you know how to roll just a single d20?
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to determine which direction you're running, towards or away from Marco. Which, by the way, completely coincidental name, I think. But yeah,
Yeah.
you're not running directly away from Marco, but more like adjacent. You're definitely running away from the group as a whole. So you're probably running like northeast away from the ship. Marco, do you pursue or do you remain where you are? Or do you go back to the group?
I'm going to pursue at a very good distance,
Did I
but
see a wolf
also
when I was running away? I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You saw it. You saw an animal. You probably don't know anything about wolves to know if it's normal for a wolf to just be hanging out. But you did see an animal. Now, if this is going to be a contested role, if Marco is pursuing at a
not
distance,
a direct pursuit, but it's more like
yeah, kind of
an
a
indirect one.
yeah,
Like,
like you're making it look like you're just meandering away somewhere, but you're really trying to keep him in sight. Um,
yeah.
but it's still a contested role because Andalites have 4 eyes and 2 of them rotate 360 degrees on stalks, so it's going to be kind of hard to not be seen by them. So I want both of you
Cough,
to
cough,
roll.
freeze, cough, cough, cover, cough, cough.
Yeah, I need both of you to
And
roll.
he's literally kind of running from a ship. I don't know if the ship's about to explode, but
Roll.
I could smell some real nasty chemicals right now.
Yep. So Marco, you can roll reason since that's your main thing for your perception roll. Reason and
Yep.
security. Difficulty is going to be whatever Corvon rolls. Corvon, if you would roll, I'll let you decide reason or insight and security to kind of, because I mean hazard awareness is just a basic thing that they teach at Andalite Academy apparently.
Hmm.
Whoever gets
Well,
the highest wins.
so again, I'm not sure how to do this part here. I've got reason, and then you said security, because
So
that's my other.
yep, just click on reason and then click on security in your character sheet, and then
You're gonna have to beat a 3.
ooh.
Okay.
And did you spend momentum? I assume.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so you guys are down to 7, I think.
Okay.
Which,
So what do I need to do now then? You
uh,
said
well,
reason, then security, and then
yep. So, question: do you want a focus? Because you still haven't put any
sure.
focuses on. So,
Well, I didn't know what to put there.
yeah, no, I know that's kind of what we're doing now. So, a
All
good
right.
focus that is kind of well-rounded for situations like this, or in any game really, would be perception, or like hazard awareness, or investigation. Any of those would be maybe escape and avoidance. Anything pretty much dealing with whatever you're doing right now. If you want to put that focus in, then you're more than welcome to.
Well, to be completely honest, this guy is just booking it for the most part, and I mean, other than keeping an eye on like in general, like, so yeah, perception's fine. That makes sense to me actually. Though I think it'd be more termed like 360 awareness kind of a deal.
Yeah, if you just want to put environmental awareness or something like that, then that's fine too. And anything that's got to do with eyeballs and sight is probably good, especially for an Andalite.
Mhm.
But yeah, just type that in there and then go ahead and click focus used yes. And then you can roll. Now, because this is opposed, you do got to ask the others if you could use a momentum or not. Otherwise, if you want another dice, you can give me threat. That gives me some cool things to use against you guys later. But then you will be able to use as many dice as you want, up to 5, depending on how much threat you give me.
Okay. Keep in mind, I again have not played this system at all.
Yep, that's fine.
So I don't. So this roll is for what exactly? I must have missed something when you were explaining.
It's
So,
It cut
contested.
in and out.
so you're
Oh, okay. It's contested against the wolf,
yeah,
basically, to know whether I notice her or vice versa, or something
exactly.
like that.
To notice
Okay.
if any kind of creature is following you, basically, even if it's tangentially trying to pretend like it's not.
Okay. Fair enough. So again, reason, security. So that's those 2.
Mhm.
Is there something else you click on?
Yep, click on yes for focus used, because you've got awareness there. And
Okay.
then, do you want to get more dice? Because, like Nostra said, she's rolled 3 successes. So the likelihood of getting 3 successes with 2 dice is not great.
No, I gotcha.
But there's also the chance of getting a complication.
Yeah, but the complication
Well,
range
there's
is 1 for him right now.
right now with the way the way that he's doing his thing, I don't think I'm just gonna
Yeah.
either go ahead and make the roll, because even though I am looking around, he also just got into a pretty much a space accident, and
He's
he's
embarrassed.
not well that, but he's also not thinking completely clearly. Like
hmm
he's like, get the hell into the woods somewhere, hide. The ship will take care of itself, and then once I get to where I need to get to, I can figure things out. But yeah,
All right.
so yeah, I like the idea of that kind of environmental awareness. He's at least going to may notice something, even though it really small chance, but it fits anyway. But I'm
Right.
still just going to roll whatever I'm supposed to roll. So
All right.
Normally it's just 2 dice.
Yep. Just click on that
Okay.
symbol again, and you're good.
Which symbol again?
The
task roll one?
Yep, where it says task roll, there's a badge symbol there. Just click on that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. You don't see
Alright, well.
anything. What you do see though are there's some small flames on the trees and some birds like saying what the hell and scattering into the sky because you just burned down their habitat. But other than that, you don't see anything.
Well, damn.
So
I too was displaced.
Yep. You're running. The wolf is kind of tangentially pretending not to follow you. Marco, in your head, you hear Eli's voice. What's going on, Marco? Report.
The ship crashed, and I can easily smell chemicals combining each other within that ship. I have a very bad feeling it might be combustible, so stay away. I'm trying to tail this. I'm trying to tail the Andalite, but I'm keeping a distance. I'm trying to make sure to pretend as if I'm just a normal wolf. So
Tailing.
I'm ensuring to keep an eye out.
All right, which direction are you going? I'm following into my Andalite morph. Northeast.
The Andalite has northeast. Northeast.
All right. Keep on him. Don't get blown up by the ship, obviously. I am
far away from the ship. I've been scaling the Andalite
Okay.
the whole time.
Great.
I am suggesting to advise everyone to stay away from the ship.
All right, we're gonna head east then, so we don't run into the ship, and then we're gonna head north from there, so that hopefully we can kind of try to intercept this Andalite before he accidentally runs into some park rangers pretending to be Calbert officers pretending to be park rangers, like a couple days ago. All right, just keep me updated. All right, and so then he turns to the others. All right, so he turns to the others. He says, "All right, well, you guys need to get better legs, because either legs or a bird or something." And he like looks around. I want Alex and Tali. Sorry, go ahead.
What about the dog that we acquired?
Oh, you did. Do it. I completely forgot about that. Do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, y'all forgot about Uno.
Yeah, you forgot Una. So that's gonna be. That's a pet. Definitely not command or con. Fuck it. Do security, just because of the situation that you're in. You're kind of in a stressful situation. So present security and control and security for you two. Difficulty 2, because I don't think you've morphed them before. Yeah, you don't even start morphing. Alex doesn't even start morphing. You're just a human.
I don't even start. I'm just standing there like.
I'm like, go. I'm like,
can I use a focus?
What focus?
Composure.
Yes, perfect. You got to compose yourself to be able to focus. Oh, nice! 3 successes. All right, so that gives you guys back up to full momentum of 8. Keep in mind, guys, you got full momentum to spend, and you guys are in kind of a time crunch situation. All right, so you're focused.
Try again.
Yeah, go ahead and try again. All right, you're focused too. So you both focus on this morph. Alex, your face just extends forward and fangs start coming out of your jaw. Tolly, your ears move to the top of your head and become pointed. And now I need you both to roll again to continue to morph. Nope, it's got to be 2 successes. You stop morphing, Alex.
I stop.
Yep.
I stop morphing. Alex,
Ooh, that's. I'm pretty sure that's. What was your?
he
Complication.
stops morphing.
Hold on, let me. Looking for his character sheet because I'm pretty sure he's at 11 plus 4, 15. Nope, I think that's that's 1 success. So yeah, you also stop morphing. And at this point, Eli's like really just glaring at you, like, "Come on, faster, faster! Use your morphing momentum!" Hint, hint, hint. Or not. Y'all are just.
Yeah, no, I'll use momentum to get an extra die for the next time.
All right. So three dice for Tolly. Mac is still frozen and werewolf looking morph.
Go, Tally.
1, 2. I think that's 3 successes. So yeah, you're still at 8 momentum. So you are almost Tali. You're like pretty much finishing your morph as Alex is still trying to get a hang of what's going on. Well, and I'm just gonna say Kenneth is already morphed. I think he acquired the Doberman morph as well. I hope I did.
I'm gonna
Mhm.
I'm gonna use 2 momentum.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, so you're finished morphing as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you have 4 bonus momentum. Do you want to spend 2 of those bonus momentum to say that you have just got a handle on this dog's instincts immediately?
Yeah.
All right, so you
Yes.
got 2 bonus momentum. Tolly, do you want to spend those 2 bonus momentum for the same thing?
Yes.
All right, so you're still at full momentum. You've got this Doberman, and now your senses aren't as good as a wolf, but they're still way better than a human, and you're able to kind of sense. You're at least able to sense the wolf, if not the Andalite. So Eli just like gestures with his 7-fingered hand. Come on, come on, come on, go, go! And you guys bolt in the direction that the wolf went, and of course. Eli and Anjin's body follows. He's not as fast as the dog, but he's pretty close. All right, so Corvon, you are
Yellow.
running through the woods. You hear in the distance an explosion. You know that's your ship being taken care of.
All right. Well,
What do you do?
Eventually, well, he starts thinking, well, I'll try to come back in a human or some other local creature later, and just to make sure that it's completely gone. But that seems like it's taking care of itself, and it's just. And since I failed that other roll spectacularly, basically, yeah, makes it to whatever the nearest like tree line where he knows he won't be seen underneath, and it depends if my character's ever been to Earth or not. I don't know. Or
Probably
any
not.
other.
You're a cadet. You probably
Okay.
wouldn't. Not old
Okay.
enough.
Did I get far enough where I had the device used on us then, at the very least?
Yeah. So
Because isn't that like a
yeah, if your parents, and that's why they say Andalites are born able to morph, because even though it's a recent technology, I think it was made in like the 50s or 60s or something. Once your parents have got the ability to morph, then all of their kids will have it too. So your parents have were able to morph, so you're able to morph. I'll even say you have the Caffet bird, the 6-winged bird from Andalite Homeworld. But that's I mean, as a cadet, I think that's all Axe had when he started. So that's all you would have.
There was the Caffet bird, I remember, because he thought it would be great to fly, and then something that was pretty much harmless and useless he described as something else. So
yeah.
All right, Caffet bird. Sorry, I look up pictures and things while I'm trying to figure that out.
That's fine. So are you
okay.
Are you gonna try to turn into that? Or
you know what?
else?
I'm less likely to be seen as that bird than I am as what I am right now.
Right.
So yeah, duck into the tree line, and sure, we'll try to make a morphing roll.
All right.
Though I'm thinking of Power Rangers now.
So many people do.
Yeah. So, this is one of those things where I wouldn't know what to roll. So.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So let's see. Looking at your
Okay.
character sheet, I think yours was fitness, right? Yeah. So you can roll
Yeah.
fitness, and it's a bird, so it'd be con.
All right. And then a task roll. Do I put anything on the complication thing? Because you have me
No.
go to 5 at some
Yeah.
point.
I had to
Okay.
spend threat for that to make it more dangerous. But this is, I mean, unless you
Gotcha.
unless you fly up into the trees and bump your head on a branch, you should be good.
That as funny as that would be. All right. So now I just hit task roll. I can't see. Someone. Dang it.
Yeah.
I guess that's 2 successes. Is that how that works?
Yes. So you successfully begin the transformation. Roll another time to continue the transformation. So, in case you haven't been able to
Sorry.
keep count, because I know it's hard for me, morphing requires 4 rolls to represent the 2 minutes that it takes to actually do it.
Okay. Could I as far as you mentioned like focuses and things, can I take one specifically in morphing because it's not just been like something he was required to do because society and whatnot, but he actually found an art form almost.
Okay.
So I'd really like, I can take that as a focus of some kind.
Yeah, yeah. I probably wouldn't just put generically morphing, but you can put like something less vague than just morphing, like morphing. Um, so I'll let you decide if you want it to be quickly or if you want it to be able to control the morph to kind of make it make sense. Like for example, if you want wings first.
Yeah. Go ahead and just do it as quickly for now.
Okay. Then yeah, you would be able to click yes for focus.
All right. Man, I'm gonna have a chance to go and read this later since I'd make a character so quick today.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right. 0 and 1. I guess that's a pass. No, maybe.
Would your character have already trained in morphing this bird? I assume so because
Oh yeah.
yeah. So that's a
Yeah.
pass. And so now you're about halfway through the morphing. So roll again to actually complete the morph.
Okay, gotcha.
Like I said, 4 times.
So, oh no, you're good. My confusion isn't from anything you're doing. Until I get a chance to look at the book later.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. All right, so you're now a 6-wing, and Marco, you're not only seeing this happen, even though you're at a considerable distance, you're smelling him change into from an Andalite, an alien, into another alien. But at least the Andalite you kind of have smelled before because of my character. But this new bird that you see is definitely not from this planet. In fact, it has 6 wings. And now roll one more time, Corvon, to grapple the bird's instincts, which shouldn't be too hard if you've done it before.
Meanwhile, I'm going to, in the background, update literally the rest of the gang.
Yeah, like, oh shit, he's turning into a bird. And my character says, don't let him get off the ground. Come out of the shadows if you have to. Don't let him leave.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to do a little hold action. If he's going to try to fly, I'm going to suddenly surprise motherfucker and do a little wolf moment and pull him down to the ground. By the Nami on the leggy.
That would definitely be a contested roll. We'll see how that goes. All right, so.
Oh boy.
Instinct roll. Yep. Instinct roll. Fitness con.
Okay. God dang it. Hold on. Sorry.
It's all good.
Well, I found a really good picture of that actual bird. It's like blue and white. Someone's drawing anyway. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'll add it to the character sheets at some point.
Oh, no worries. I was just looking at the picture of him. All right, so you said fitness and what?
Con.
Or insight?
Nope,
okay,
fitness and
con.
con.
All right, and there we go. Focus, yes. Task roll.
All right.
1 and 0.
You are good. You have control. Now you're still on the ground, but here's how this is going to work. Because the wolf has already seen you start to morph into a bird, the wolf is going to be able to act first. The problem with that is the wolf is considerably far away from you. So it's going to be a purely roll-off. So I want Marco to roll first. Fitness and security or con, either one, because he's going to be trying to sprint at this new creature. And
But since technically in my wolf form I have the hunting and tracking, that technically means I'm giving you a threat, by the ways.
Okay. Wow. 4 successes. So Corvon needs 4 successes to get off the ground before the wolf gets to him. And then after that, you're going to have to roll again to get away from the wolf before the wolf can jump to get to you. So, but at this point, I think it's safe to say you can see the wolf coming towards you. I don't think...
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and...
All right, so what's the thing that I can give you to get me bonuses again? Is it threat?
So you can give me threat, you can use plot points for certain things, you can use serendipity for certain things, and momentum for certain things. It just depends on what you want. If you want more dice, you can give me threat, or you can spend momentum.
Okay, well, the reason I'm asking is those aren't things that are actually marked on my sheet yet, so I don't actually know how much
Let's see.
there is of things.
All right, so there's 8 momentum, for everybody. I don't do that, well... So I do momentum kind of in a homebrew way because that's just me. But usually I will write in the chat how much momentum y'all have. As far as threat, you give me threat, so there's no need for me to annotate it onto your thing. I have it written down here. I'm not going to tell you how much it is, but it's not a little bit, and it's not the most I've ever had. So you can give me threat to get more dice. That's completely fine if you want to do that.
Well, as I said before, he's kind of panicked. Not really panicking, but definitely not paying as much attention as he needs to be on this part. But yeah, but he's also really determined to get the hell out of there. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and I'll give you 3.
Give me 3 threat. All right, so then you will roll 5 dice.
All right, how do I go about that?
Where it says task roll.
Oh, challenge dice right here.
Nope, it's where it's task roll. Just click on the 5. Challenge dice is D6. That's like if you do damage.
Okay.
All right.
So I have 5 on the task roll, and okay.
And then you just click on.
And then it's
the same
fitness
symbol.
Con.
Yep, fitness con to actually fly. Ooh, still 2 zeros. So you get off the ground, but not before you feel one of your 6 wings be snagged by the jaws of a wolf. Question for Marco.
Right.
Do you say anything with thought speak? Or do either one of you say anything with thought speak? Or is this going to just turn into a melee battle for the ages?
Well, you definitely would have heard me go, ow, like, loudly.
Yeah.
Or whatever much more posh way of putting that would be.
Personally, I recommend you don't get off the ground. And to myself, I didn't say anything. I'm trying to keep my cover.
I was gonna say.
I was like, huh.
As far as he's concerned,
No.
there's only one species with. Well, there's multiple species with thought speak, but there's only one species that has thought speak and can morph into animals. So.
Right. Just getting ground. And I'm just immediately relaying it to the rest of the gang.
Okay. I'm gonna say that the Dobermans. There's a sight to see. First, you get grabbed by a wolf, and then you see 3 Dobermans bounding towards you. In fact, I think that's. You know what? I'm gonna actually spend a threat to have that happen. You see 3 Dobermans bounding towards you.
Yeah, at this point, no longer cares if he possibly loses that small limb.
Right.
But he's just going to come back to his full Analyte form because of that tail blade.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this as fast as we can.
All right. So, remember fitness and con to focus.
All right.
Difficulty 1 because you've done
And
it before. And you can use a
okay.
focus. You can use a focus.
I have one terrible idea.
What's that?
As if I'm seeing him trying to transform back into an Andalite, I have a terrible idea.
What is
I
Those
am
are
going to
usually the good
yeet
ones.
him to a fucking tree.
it? Well, after he focuses,
Yeah.
he's got to start morphing, and then after that second roll, you can do that. All right, now roll one more time to actually commence the change, and I'll say that your beak begins to recede into your face to become no mouth, essentially. Ooh. So yeah, you have begun the change. However, it's going to be a difficulty 2 to continue the change. Now I want Marco to yeet this bird into a tree. So go ahead and roll daring security. Wow, and did you spend a momentum on that, or was that threat?
Yes. Momentum spent.
All right, so your guys are down to 7 momentum. Now I need Korban, because all melee is contested. I want Korban to roll daring security to either not be thrown into a tree or try to attack back with his talons. It's up to you how you want to do that.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and attempt to, as I'm being flung, basically,
Yeah.
kind of kick back with my
With-
talons and
yeah.
go for the eyes, because I figure if it's somebody in a morph who's attacking me,
Mhm.
even if this does injure them, they can fix it, and
Yeah.
if it's not, well, screw those guys.
All right.
Uh,
You need more than 4 successes though. Just reminding you.
Yeah, I know. And how does it? Can I spend momentum too, or not at this point? Have we decided?
Again, that's a group thing. If you guys want, you guys have plenty of momentum.
Are you? Is he even part of the group?
I mean, he's going to be, as everyone's fighting each other, but eventually he will be.
All right. You know what? I'm just gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be that guy because I really do think as far as character stuff and everything. I do not want to get captured right now
Right.
or ever. So yeah, I just give you 3 threat.
All right.
Okay, David.
Ooh, that's a
First
harsh one.
Who the hell's that? I'm sorry. Is this a
Really?
friend of yours or
No,
David?
The David trilogy. You don't remember the David trilogy?
not off the top of my head? It's
So the Animorphs got a new Animorph named David, and he was a complete sociopath.
oh, the lion. Yeah.
the
He
one,
was
the one they trapped in a mouse morph
Yeah.
forever.
A rat.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a white rat.
A white rat. That's right.
Oh man. Man, I read all those books and then everything else. They were great, but I haven't really thought much about it until I saw your post on here
I gotcha.
earlier.
Yeah.
So that made me go, "Oh shit!" So
Fair enough.
no, I completely forgot about him. I knew he was there for 3, and he was a cobra, and he was a
Yeah.
real asshole.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I thought he killed Tobias.
I would like to know exactly why I got called David just now.
I think
Is
because you
it
gave me
because
3
of-
threat.
I don't
I think it was because you gave me 3 threat.
Well, shouldn't bite people. I don't know what to tell you.
That is
All
true.
right. So yeah, so this since I did 3 threat, it would go to the 5 over here, and then daring con. Okay, that's all the same. All right,
Yep.
cool.
Well, actually,
So,
daring security.
Oh,
What's your
crap, hold
security?
on.
It's okay. What's your
Oh no,
security?
security's better.
All right. What is the score? then?
Security is 4, con was 2.
Okay, so let's see. Daring, so it would be 14. That one would be a success. Ooh. You would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes if that's the case.
Okay.
But the good news is, because you got 1 success over, that puts you guys back up to 8 momentum. So yeah, you basically, Marco, you feel sharp talons digging into your eyes and drawing blood, and although he kind of bounces up against the tree, he has now kind of freed himself from your grasp, yeah, now he's kind of just hovering there like 2 feet off the ground. Now, because you guys have gotten to go, I'm gonna let the other guys go. Alex, you're in the.
Basically,
Go ahead.
can I just can I say to both my brother and Polly's character, let's all pounce at once on him.
Ooh. Ken's like, I think Marco's got this. But that's just my opinion. I don't want to kill the thing. Or the guy, I guess technically he's a guy, but I don't want to kill him. I just don't want him to run away.
We're not going to kill him, Blin. I'm just trying to restrain them. Just.
Is this like a tight beam thought speech right now, or is this just yelling it or saying it out loud?
I'm assuming Alex.
Very tight.
Yeah, I'm assuming Alex is just talking to
I'm
the
saying it.
current Animorphs, the current new Animorphs, which doesn't include your character.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, he's just thinking it through to everyone.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't like a normal, how they can yell,
Right.
regardless of what you want someone to hear.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was that. No, this was just connected to the rest of the group. That's fine. That makes it easy. I was just wanting to know.
Tali, how does Ben respond to Alex's question?
I disagree. This could potentially be an ally. I'm not smelling any. I don't know. He doesn't smell like those armored people that we've come across. He smells like an Andalite. So honestly, I'd rather have an ally instead of an enemy. So no.
All right. At this point,
Alex just runs up.
all right. So you're
Alex
running.
runs up and goes.
Go ahead.
And runs up and goes.
You just run up and bark.
Yeah, and he
All right.
barks and he goes, "Hey." He
So
thinks through and goes, "Hey, hey,
you say "hey" in thought speak
yeah,
to who? The Andalite?
hey,
Korban?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah."
Korban, you hear a dog thought speak to you. Hey. With each bark it makes.
So it's very distracting. It could be, yeah. So let me get this straight. Kick the dog, wolf in the face, or another animal in the face. Now another one's running up and barking at me, and it's going "hey" at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And saying, "Hey."
Really want to say, well, I'm not bilingual. All right. So yeah, I go. God, sorry. Some music started playing for a second.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're perfectly fine. Damn squirrel today. Basically, when I hear "hey," I say loudly, and that's the thing, not anyone in particular. Release me! Did they ever get a full actual bite on me or not?
Yeah. Well, the
The
wolf did.
Dobermans have not pound.
Yeah, the
The
wolf did.
Dobermans did not.
Only the wolf did.
Oh,
And I
okay.
released it already.
Yeah, but I mean, you still
Okay.
bit
Yeah,
him.
all I did was literally yeet you to a tree to stop you from transforming back.
Oh, in that case, if I was already let go at this point,
And I literally yeeted
I don't-
you to a tree.
oh, it's just a little tree.
It's a tree.
It's a tree. No, yeah, goes ahead and continues doing the transformation.
All right. As you're
That's
transforming,
effectively not really much to say. So
as you're transforming, and as the other animals are like barking and thought speaking randomly, you see a larger, older Andalite approach from behind them, and he looks directly at you, and he commands in thought speak. For everyone to hear, basically, everyone can hear this, not just Korban. He says, "Return to your Andalite form, cadet." Well, actually, he doesn't know you're a cadet. Return to your Andalite form, soldier.
was already doing that. But yeah, continues what he was doing. Like I said, it was
Okay.
going right back to being in his other form, or his normal form.
And then he demands of the canines, hold your attack until we find out who and what he is.
Looking at for lack of a better term, the person across from me, is there anything that looks off about this Analyte in particular, other than just being older?
There is something that you can't really place. It's a
All right.
well, there's a couple of things that you can't really place. Almost a familiar, like there's something familiar about him, but also something kind of um, physically. I wouldn't say weak or sick, but something in that vein, to where he's not holding
All right.
his eyes or his tail as strongly as he should. Um,
That's perceiving to be okay.
But other
Okay.
than that,
Um.
he looks like an Andalite warrior. If you had to guess his age and rank, it'd be probably late 30s, early 40s. You know, if he's human, probably at the very least a prince.
Okay. As far as I know, this prince is basically commanding all these other what looks like an anal, basically what everyone thought they were in the first book.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
a so yeah. I mean, do I recall there being any active missions on this planet? Like even if it came up in passing, I don't know
Uh,
how long I would have had from here to Earth to look
mm,
through archives and stuff.
well,
So try to
you would know that there's Andalite fugitives on the planet. You wouldn't know how many or what they're doing, but you would know that there's like people who fled the Kelbrids here. Yes.
Okay. Well, mainly I was wondering if there was any actually sanctioned missions that were sent
No,
here.
I mean
But
no, because the Kelbrid sanction all the Andalite missions now. The Kelbrid are in
okay,
complete
so
control of the Andalites. At
oh,
least
I
they're
thought they wiped tried to. I thought,
no, they basically have control of their planet and their government and all that good stuff. But a few Andalites have like fled or tried to resist and stuff.
yeah,
It's kind of like the situation. I'm trying to think of
more of an occupation.
exactly. Yeah, they've been occupied basically, and so there are a lot of Andalite collaborators that actually work with or work for the Kelbrid, but that's seen as like
Wow.
traitors. Yeah, so seeing them
Okay.
here, seeing the Andalites here, wouldn't be too much of a surprise. Um, but who knows?
Okay. So basically, no, I was thinking they were completely pretty much wiped out except for scattering here and there. Okay, cool. Then that really didn't change one of the values, which is duty to vengeance. So yeah. Um. At that point, like I said, if I don't know there was a mission here, and I see that they them walk up. I finish my transformation at double time, uh, just because he's like unmorph, da da da. So get that done as quickly as I can, and I cannot remember if they bow or whether how they do that with or just speak.
I
It's
mean,
been forever.
it's been 20 years. We can make it up. We'll just
All
say
right.
the Andalite prince, quote unquote, just nods his head and says, after you finish demorphing, and he says, "What is your name and rank?"
Arch. I can't say that part of the name. Aris, cadet, whatever. Cadet Corvin Sorrel Terran, Prince.
Eris Corvon. It is good to see a fellow Andalite here. Do you have a mission?
Uh, I didn't personally. The ship had a mission pre-programmed. I don't know if it was multiple ships or what, but and then basically I relay what I told you earlier about looking into um, possibly trying to find other people that might help infiltrate the planet to free it or get help or yeah, it was a general kind of a distress thing for anyone leaving to get try to find and bring back help.
Okay. So after you tell him that, Eli, in the form of a prince known as Anjin, nods and thinks for a moment, and then he says, "Things on this planet are not as they seem. They are not as bad as they are on the Andalite homeworld, but they're not good either. We require your assistance to free this world of the Kelbrid influence. Do you accept?"
Um, as far as I'm aware, he's the highest ranking person I know. Yeah, he just kind of goes down to one knee and goes, "You have my service."
Good. And he does that thing where, how Andalites smile with their eyes, and he
Mm-hmm.
nods, and then you see him begin to change slowly. And one of the first things that appears is his mouth. And he says in a human voice, My name is Eli. I am half human and half Andalite. I am not a soldier of the Andalite homeworld. However, what I told you about this world is true. We do not want to harm you. We want to rid this world of the Kelbrid. And if we can find some more allies, then maybe we can go back to the Andalite homeworld and also liberate them. I am sorry for having to deceive you, but it was necessary to stop the conflict. I hope you can forgive me.
Uh, looks less happy than the other guy did. And very much has a confused, kind of nervous thing going on at this point now. It's like, you know how horses, when they get nervous, will just like kick.
Yeah.
It's kind of that same thing with the back feet,
hmm
because as far as I'm aware, do I know that was even a possibility?
What?
A half Andalite, half human.
Only in the
Do I
sense.
even?
Only in the sense that if an Andalite took human form, then technically speaking, Tobias was half Andalite.
Oh,
But
okay.
but he hasn't specified how he's half Andalite. He's just said he's half Andalite.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember that whole story from the Andalite Chronicle thing. Okay. Well, yeah. Like I said, doesn't look thrilled, but technically he didn't bind himself to any prince. He said he was at his service. So yeah. We'll just. I mean, until someone shows me otherwise. So
Okay.
he's still very groggy.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
Can we change back
Yes, please
into our
do,
human form?
because he's gonna need to do the Frolus maneuver. Have you been taught that maneuver yet, Corvin?
I don't know, because I don't personally, but I don't think that the character does either. So
Well, since Axe was able to do it, we can safely assume that Corvin has. In fact,
the gene mixing thing.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make a talent for that one of these days. But until then, let's let's say that you need to roll fitness and medicine or science. You don't have a 0 in either of those, in one of those, do you?
I do definitely have in medicine. I do.
Okay, well,
It's a
4.
0, but
You
the
got a 4 in
science is a 4.
science. Yeah. So roll fitness and science. This is going to be difficulty. Ooh, it should really be difficult, because otherwise I think the Animorphs would have done it a lot. I'm going to say difficulty 3. So you need 3 successes. You guys are still at full momentum, by the way, so feel free to take advantage of that.
Yeah. At this point, now that we're actually all together.
Okay.
So I can use one to do what? It gives you an extra dice, basically.
Yeah, it's a 1-for-1 basis up to 5. So if you spend 3 momentum, then you can get 5 dice if you want.
Okay. I'll just spend 2.
All right.
All right.
6.
2 and okay. And so then it would be fitness and what? Science? Or
Yeah, fitness and science.
all right, fitness, science, challenge die. That gives me 2. I got 2 dice, so that's that. Okay.
Now-
Sorry, I didn't
It's all good. But when you morph this, when you actually do the physical change to turn into a person, you're going to be rolling command. Just remember that, not science, command. All right, so you got 2,
Okay.
4, 6 successes, and the difficulty was 3. So you guys are back up to 8 momentum, and you have a bonus momentum. Since I'm going to let you spend the bonus momentum to actually describe what your character looks like. You can actually decide what this human form looks like. As you're like... And then, by the way, before you like completely complete this maneuver, you do ask everyone, hey, can I take some of your DNA so that I can become a human that's unique? Does everyone agree that he can do that, or does someone... You can say no if you want. It'll just be one less gene.
Hesitantly.
I'm more acceptable to the fact, because I kind of considered this person
Transform back into a
relative
human. We're all
ally, or a potential ally.
All right.
I would slightly hesitate to get back into human form, but inevitably, well, how long have I been in this form anyways?
Way less than an hour. You're good on that.
Alright, then.
I did roll.
I would actually like to not be seen transforming from the wolf back into a human being. Like, just casually walk behind Eli and then just snap
Yeah, it doesn't
out
work
the
that way.
out.
It doesn't work that
You know
way,
what?
unfortunately.
Fine. That was a joke.
Okay. I mean, he's gonna find out eventually. Yeah, Mac.
Basically, I'm
I
transforming
know.
into a.
I saw you roll. I know.
Fine.
Get the last. How many do I have to get? Is two?
To go back to human, it's just one. So 1, 2. So you have 2. If you want to spend the 2 bonus momentum, you could just say. Well, actually, no. You don't need to grapple with the instincts. So if you want, you can give the 2 bonus momentum to Marco or Tali and say that they can do it with 1 less roll if you want.
Yeah.
And looks like,
put a picture of a.
Can.
Yeah.
where is it? Oh, that's your character.
I just threw it. Sure.
All right.
I typed in. Yeah, never mind. Goofy looking teens. So that one specifically.
Bruh, why?
You know.
I'm just gonna immediately roast you because your face claim looks exactly like a very much certain.
I don't know.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh wow, who's that?
That's from the 2011 attempted reboot of Devil May Cry.
Oh my god.
Oh, that one.
Trash.
They do look similar though.
They
well.
look alike.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I just typed
Okay.
it and it was the first pictures that came up. So, also, I picture him as being super pale and kind of emo right now. His planet just got taken over, and yeah.
Yep.
Basically, he goes, "Oh, you look like that character from Devil May Cry, the 2011
the
remake."
terrible 2011 reboot, you mean?
Yeah, that reboot.
And Eli's
That's
like, I
horrible
didn't know they
video
tried
game.
to make a reboot of that game. That's weird. Anyway. All right.
Believe me, when you sometimes try to understand how humanity behaves online,
Yeah, I'll never.
you tend to get very desensitized to it. It is like going into a war zone, but worse.
Well, so you guys demorph. He takes some of your DNA, creates kind of his own person that he can become for 2 hours at a time. And now, Eli, once Corvin has done that, Eli says, "Do you have any questions or, concerns for us?"
Specifically, just asking why and how did all these humans, all of you humans, actually, he tries to correct himself the best he can.
Mm-hmm.
He seems a little less sure of himself than what you would have heard, like Analytes in general. Like, he's kind of got that, not quite shy. He's still trying to hold up a good pretense, but it's been a bit much. So yeah, he doesn't really question too much other than to ask how a bunch of humans ended up getting the morphing ability.
Okay.
As far as I know, there was only so many given out to different parts of Earth, and they seem to pretty much have would I have known about the whole being kicked off Earth thing and then actually going on?
Yeah, a lot of that for Andalites would have been just like history. You know what I mean? Like just like this is what happened. Like it from secondhand accounts.
Oh, this isn't a recent thing. Oh, okay.
No, this was like 4 years after the end of the somewhere between 2 and 4 years after the end of the book. So around 2004, 2005. But yeah, it basically you don't know why. That's the major thing. None of the aliens, none of the governments, nobody could explain why they were doing what they were doing. But they seem to have a reason for it, and they seem to be very much coordinated in their efforts in it. And that may have something to do with what's going on now. Who knows? But when you ask about the humans having the power, Eli kind of holds out his hand, and you can see a band around it. You've never seen this band before. It's kind of like I would say it's like half an inch wide, and it goes around his wrist. And you see a golden light flicker from this like silver band, and then a projection of the Aximil, the eight-sided. Basically, think of like a D8, but a lot bigger, about the size of a baseball, appears in his hand. And he shows you this, and he says, the Andalite who found us. Well, actually, we found him, but he was dying, and he knew that the only way to fight the Kelbrid was to give a few human teens and the school resource officer the ability to morph. And then he kind of taps the wristband again, and it flickers and goes back into the wristband. Now, you don't know what the wristband is, but clearly it's some sort of, I don't know, inventory holding device. The rest of you, the new Animorphs, think it's really odd that he has the Aximil device, because last you saw, it was still being held by Skava when she was fighting off the primals, while down in the underground, down in the caves. So how he got that should not really be possible unless he went back for it at some later date. Which, of course, is possible, because it's not like you've been around him the whole time, but it's still weird that he would go back to get it. Whether or not you want to say anything about it or do anything about it is completely up to you, but I'll leave that into you guys' minds to think about for a while. And he says, we don't really have a whole lot of time or to kind of sit around and think about whys and hows. We have to fight the Kelbrids. They're more powerful than ever. There are things that I know that I shouldn't know because of a certain meddling entity, but suffice it to say that all of that will come to light soon enough. And he looks around to the new Animorphs and he says, I think that's enough training for today, don't you guys think?
It's eventful. It was eventful. Wait a minute. I have a question though.
Yes.
How long until that ship explodes?
Oh, it already exploded. Yeah,
Oh,
it already exploded. It was exploding while you were
sorry.
running.
I just wanted to bust out the comedic timing.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It can explode now. It exploded a little bit, and then it really exploded now.
Yeah.
and
Big
then
bada boom.
like a third of the forest is just on fire.
Ah, crap. This
We
is
better.
now the second game that's happened.
Well, with a name like Fire Monk, how can you? It's kind of obvious.
And I've had that name literally since back when I was like 18. I've had that same email.
Wow.
And
All right, so I think Eli is going to take, he's going to send you guys back home or wherever you want to go. More than likely, Monday morning, you'll have to show up at home to kind of deal with the police and the investigation, but it'll go well, and then we'll time jump a little bit from there. But as far as Korvan, he's probably going to be like, look, you can morph human, that's great, but you still need a place to live. I have an RV that I drive around. Hey, look, it's better than nothing. So I have an apartment too. So if you want to use the RV, it's got a bed, it's got sink, kitchen. You can use it. What do you say? You probably don't know what an RV is though, so that's probably something. It's a vehicle with it's a wheeled house. It's a small wheeled house basically that you can drive around.
I'm trying to picture my actual non-human body fitting in there. Uh,
Yep.
huh. I say thank you, but I think if I can just find a secluded area. Where are we? Or is this one of those things where we don't know what town and whatnot?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Like,
keep it as close to like, oh no, paranoia. Don't tell anyone the town or the last name as
gotcha.
much as possible.
So
But
in that case,
I do have like a map. So like we do know we know it's in a game forest like northwest of the small town we're all from. basically.
All right, then yeah, basically he just
Question.
mentions that he'll make a scoop kind of out there. I don't think me trying to blend into human society daily is a great plan
Fair
for
enough.
now.
Makes sense. Just if you see any hunters, which aren't around usually at this time of the year, but later they will be, or campers, you might want to hide. Other than that, um, I would like to meet you. He looks around. He's trying to think of a way to like figure out. Let me turn on the music a little bit. Figure out a way to make it so that people know the location. So he just. Um, hmm. Is he in Andalite form now, or is he in human form?
He is, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, so specifically asks what you're doing.
Well, I would like him to mark a tree with his
Mm.
tail so that we can meet here tomorrow at the same time. Because I'm not going to know where his scoop is, and I want to continue talking with him.
That's perfectly fine. No, I kind of figured that's where we were going with that. Yeah, he basically whips out like scorpion stinger fast, just slashes in a quick mark.
Okay. It says Andalite was here. uh,
Correct.
okay, but yeah, so
But in Klingon for some reason.
all right. He says I don't know if they're gonna have to go to school. Probably not because they witnessed some horrific things recently. But in case they do, I would like to meet you here around. We'll just say dawn because that you don't know time. You're gonna do the whole the Andalite thing where it's like it's 2 of your Earth hours, but we'll just say when the sun
Yeah.
rises, that's where we're gonna meet here, and because there's still a lot of things we need to talk about. And then after they get done with whatever thing, the human things that they have to do, we'll all meet up together and go from there.
Okay.
All right.
That sounds like a plan. He goes. He just kind of nods his head and says, I'll be back. I'll be here." God, I
No,
refuse to do that Schwarzenegger stuff now.
yeah, and Eli says, "Come with me if you want to live."
In character, doesn't laugh. No idea what he's talking about. Me, that was good. That was pretty good. So effectively, in that case, so the goal for today, obviously, would be basically whatever's left of it. Um, find a place to basically lay low. Do what I can with what stuff I may or may not have had from getting off the ship. And try to acquire a couple of Earth morphs so people don't see, because I've yet to see one of those birds that I am here. So
All right. Um, does anybody have anything they want to do or say before we end the session for tonight?
Nope, I think I gotta go because my mom keeps bothering me to do all those chores all at once.
Okay,
Help me.
I understand.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
have a good one.
Anybody else?
Uh,
All right.
Yeah, kind of. I was thinking like for my home, like what's going to happen with the cops? Are they going to be there like as soon as I get back home, or is it going to be like a while?
So the way
That's
so basically, as far as the cops and the Kelbra investigators are concerned, you guys are something happened to your bus. They know what happened to your bus. You know what happened to your bus, but you gotta pretend like you don't. So basically, what they're gonna probably say is, "Oh, there was a natural gas explosion. There was a cave-in. Some tectonic activity. Blah blah blah." And then you're gonna just show up on Monday morning like, "Oh man, this crazy thing happened. Tectonic. This." You're gonna go along with whatever they say. Um, Try to be super vague about what happened because if you try to
right.
if you go against what they say, like if you're like, yeah, it was definitely this, and they say no, it was this, then that might be suspicious. So just go along with whatever they say. We don't know when they're gonna actually call, or I assume, and this is Eli talking. Eli says, I'm a police officer, so I kind of know. What they would do is they would go to your guys' parents, talk to them first, and then as soon as you show up, they're gonna call the police and say, hey, you're here. So that's when they're going to come in. It'll probably be Monday, maybe Tuesday. But the good news is you probably won't have to go to school because of, like I said, the traumatic event. Now, they do know Miss Walters is dead. Bob, the bus driver, is dead. So they know that you guys experienced that. So you're gonna have to play it like, oh yeah, it was a cave in or whatever they say happened, and then the bus driver died and this died, you know. But you got to keep your story. Leave out the primals. You could leave out the Calbert. Leave out anything that's gonna give you away. Obviously, leave out the morphing stuff. But other than that, the floor caved in and the bus fell. People died. You escaped, and you spent 2 days getting back to society. Basically, that's pretty much what we got to tell them. And because someone rolled a 3, and that's really good, they're definitely gonna believe it. So the good news is you guys haven't done anything really traumatic or gotten any attention from the enemy in this episode, so your trauma and discovery points don't go up. Also, by the time the next session starts, you guys will have rested a little bit, so you don't need to even add fatigue, so you guys should be good. All right, any other questions or anything?
No, I'm just gonna look at some of the stuff for this so that I have an idea of what any of this stuff does, for the most part.
Yeah. So as far as like talents, I think you got a good handle on focus. Focus is just so like when you roll a 1, that's a critical success. It gives you 2 successes. But if you increase your focus range, what it does is like let's say your science is 4. Basically anything under a 4 is a critical. A 4 or under is a critical success, which is 2 successes. So if you roll a 3 and a 2, then you've got 4 successes there. Values, like I said, it lets you tap the determination, which gives you a critical success, but you can only do that once per session unless you spend a plot point or a serendipity to get another determination, or a couple other things that you could do. Talents are individual things that let you do certain things, and a lot of the other stuff is homebrew stuff. This whole thing is experimental, so things may actually change. But probably not too much, because I don't want to confuse a bunch of people. But if it does, I'll definitely let you guys know. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. As far as like leveling up, oh, that's another thing. I have made a skill tree. It's kind of a cool skill tree. I'm not gonna lie. I will get with you. I haven't made anything for you because Firemonk because you're new, but I will make one for you, and then I'll let you choose between 2 different paths that you want to take. Since you're playing an alien, it'll probably be the 2 opposite directions. Like, do you want to become more alien to this society and like stick to your values, or do you want to like blend in and help out and all that good stuff? And it'll probably go down those 2 directions. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. And like I said, if you have any questions, even if it's after the stream, just message me and I'll try to respond as quickly as possible.